Welcome back to the course. In the last lecture, we covered on creating the components for rendering, which is button and page items inside a region. And also we covered on adding a condition whether to render or not in the page. And now we'll go to the in-depth part of the region, and also we'll discuss on the commonly used types of region. So we'll create a region here by using this plus button and see its types. As you can see, there are a lot of types. So from the breadcrumb to the URL at the bottom, we have a lot of regions in Oracle Apex. So the most important ones are interactive grid, form, and then various reports also we have, and then charts, and even breadcrumb calendar. Almost most of them are important parts of region, but later on, once we create this interactive grid, and if we want to add some sub-regions, the remaining regions will come into picture. For now, we'll start with the interactive grid. So we'll select this type. So what is an interactive grid? To get the definition, we have this help button, and you can see all the descriptions in brief with subheadings. You can see for the interactive grid, it's defined here. So in short, what interactive grid is, it's a table where you can edit each source and save it collectively to the server. So for Oracle Forms users, you will have a table canvas, right? So if you want to migrate to Oracle Apex with those table canvas, you can use this interactive grid. So we'll create an interactive grid, and here we have this option for the source, which will select the local database, which is mapped already. And we'll select a table, and then parsing schema, which is the only one we have. And then we will select a table from the list of tables inside the schema. For this example, we'll select demo customers. This is an LOV actually. So let's leave other options as it is by default. Let's save it, and only a source is enough for now. So I'm running this by reloading the page. So in the bottom is the one, the region we have created is displayed here. So this is an interactive grid. We have a lot of options. These are just, for search. We have this based on the option we can search and fill in here. And inside the actions, we have a lot of options to display which column to be seen. It's like a configuration and rearranging it, and we can define the width. And also you have filter and other data options like sort, aggregate, and formatting with control break, and then selecting a cell and copying to a clipboard, and then populating as a chart and saving as a report, and then to download this report. So this is how the interactive grid is, but it's not editable by default. So if you want to make it editable, we have an option here. First, let us rename this new to some meaningful name, which is IG. So in short, it's IG for interactive grid. So here we have these columns listed here, and before that, let's make it editable under this attribute section. So in attributes, we have this enable, which is toggled off by default. So we will toggle it on. So here we have the three options, which are inserting, updating, and deleting. It's all checked here. And then in performance wise, lazy loading is very important. So if you want the grid to be rendered first and then load the data, then you have to choose lazy loading. If it is off, all the data will be loaded and then it is rendered. That means whenever we are reloading a page, it will fetch all the data. Once it is fetched, then only it's rendering in the HTML. For now, we just enable it so that all the components will be rendered, then the data will be fetched. So I'm saving it. So refreshing this, I think we might have an error. I guess we have to define a primary key for this editable interactive grid. So we have this customer ID as a primary key in the base table. So we will make this as primary key first. Under the source, we have this primary key. It's disabled by default, and we'll make it enable, and we'll have to add the primary key as well. So just changing this from number to hidden. So saving it and then refresh it. So it's coming fine now. As you can see, 3 new options are added, that is edit, save and add row, and also 2 columns just for row selection and row action. This can be used for selecting multiple rows, and if you want to perform any operations on this, you can use these options. If you want to use the options for multiple rows, use the top header option. It will perform multiple options like the duplicating, deleting and refresh rows. And this clear and fill is more like doing some automatic operations for clearing multiple cells and filling up. If we clear it, this all will be cleared. So I'm just reverting the changes now. And if you want to fill with something like 1 1 1 and everything will be filled with 1 1 1, so I'm just reverting again. So this is a good feature from Oracle Apex. If you want to perform with single row wise, you can use this for to duplicate the row and see this duplicated one, and I can tell to duplicate it again. So these all are like interactive grid concepts, and even we have this resizing. Even in the report we can perform this and editing the grid. If we double click on any cell, it will be in edit mode. This kind of toggling here, and if we click again, it will be in non-edit mode. Again it will be in edit mode. So for saving the data, we have the save button and the shortcut is Ctrl+Alt+S, and also add row button to insert new row. So let's add a new row with the customer. First name, I would give my name, and then the last name. So other fields are not mandatory, so I will save it and it's saved. Now you will be wondering how it is getting saved. We didn't write any insert statements to get the first name, last name and insert into a table. So it works the same way how we just added a table in the table source, and we didn't write any SQL queries so like start from the table, right? It works in the same way. If we go this IG, we have this table, right, demo customers. So since we added this, it will automatically can detect what to perform. But before that, it happens only when we are enable the edit. So if we enable the edit in the attributes section, it just creates a process here. So you can see a process created. If we click on this process, we have this new type, interactive grid automatic row processing, which is a DML. So all these operations, insert, update and delete, can be performed by this process. So without any SQL query, it just performs. How? We have this target type as region source. So if we choose region source, whatever the table is taken as for the source, it will automatically add those DML operations. And that's the beautiful of Oracle Apex, to create a table in just 2 minutes and perform operations. No need to write any code at all if you have the table. So if we choose PL SQL code, we can add some of our own statements as well. For example, we are making it to region source again, and in the next lecture we'll continue with using the interactive grid features part.